So yesterday, lads, Nneka Ogwumike, she did her best Brock Lesnar impression. She tried to take Louisa Geisel-Soder to Suplex City in a game. And this wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for two things. First of all, like the actual play, which looks absolutely ridiculous, and then people saying what they saw right before it. So we've got like Brick Center and all these things posting about it and being like, oh, these WNBA players hate each other. And it does look like she's pissed off at being boxed out, so she decided she was going to I don't know, maybe she did a wrestling class when she was younger. Maybe she watched a little bit of Brock Lesnar and she wanted to go and take her to Suplex City. But yeah, it is. Let's take a look at this right here. So, Nneka Ogwumike is sealed by Louisa Geisel-Soder, is being boxed out, climbs over Louisa Geisel-Soder, then bam! Takes her down and then screams in her face. She suplexes her and then screams in her face. And then JJ Quinterly pushes her off and is like, oh crap, the referee gets... And by the way, the referee should not be putting hands on players. Unpopular opinion. This referee should not have been allowed to do this. I'm sorry, you should not be allowed to put hands on a player. No matter what the logic is, as a referee, you should not be allowed to put hands on a player. But yeah, that is something that, I don't know, that's just something that kind of made me feel a bit, like, not weird, but like, I'm like, why? Why did the refs feel the need to do this? But like, obviously, you're seeing mad stuff about this. You're seeing absolutely mental stuff about this. And unfortunately, if you want to hate on this, if you're just looking to just hate in general, people are going to find a way to hate on this in this specific scenario. And it's just unfortunate. It is absolutely just unfortunate, but it's going to happen. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, like, there was, like, obviously one kind of extreme calling out Nneka crazy stuff, which is completely wrong. But, like, people are like, you got to show the play before that. And I'm not joking when I say this, and people trying to justify it. And this was one of the responses where it's like, shout out Ken Swift, by the way. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think we can encourage retaliation, like extreme retaliation. And again, look, it's not seeing eye to eye. So Louisa Geisel-Soder, Erica Wheeler setting a screen, Geisel-Soder's trying to get around the screen, and in fairness, Nneka does what she's supposed to do, and she looks like she's curling the screen. So she looks like she's curling the screen. She does what she's supposed to do. She makes contact with the screener and it comes off. So what Louisa Geisel-Soder is trying to do is she's trying to physically get in between Nneka and the screener and get over that. And what ends up happening is Louisa Geisel-Soder ends up, because Nneka's going away, the contact is made, ends up pushing Nneka on the ground. Defensive foul. 1,000,000% defensive foul. And I'm going to make this entire video complaining about the referees. How do you miss this? How are you staring right at this and you miss this defensive foul? First of all, this 39 ref ends up putting hands on a player during this scuffle. But how do you miss this? This is the most obvious defensive foul in history. Clearly what Louisa Geisel-Soder is trying to do is fight over the screen. Nneka comes off the screen at a weird angle. Louisa Geisel-Soder does make contact, sends her flying. It is what it is. And then, obviously, then she gets taken to Suplex City and screamed in her face. Like, in fairness, if you're Nneka Ogwumike, you don't see what's happening behind you, and all you do is feel a push to the back, and you go flying forward. If the referees had just made the call, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. So all it is crap. The flagrant foul on Nneka, the tech on Nneka, referee number 39 having to put his hands on a player. None of that happens if the ref number 39 just calls the most blatant defensive foul ever. Louisa Geisel-Soder fouled her, but I also big time disagree with saying Nneka is right, because I don't agree with excessive retaliation. I think that's dumb. And this is my argument. Retaliation is five times more severe in the initial hit than the player is in right. It's like saying Kennedy Carr was justified last year because CC accidentally collided with her possession before. So big difference between an inverted elbow going for the ball on this shove. I mean, she was fighting over a screen. But obvious foul, 0 miles doesn't warrant being taken to Suplex City. That's just my opinion. Are people agreeing or disagreeing? The root cause escalation, poor officiating. Exactly. But WNBA allowed Kiki Ariafen set the precedent that it's only a flagrant one. Yeah, it was a flagrant one. I'm not saying Nneka Ogwumike should have been chucked for the suplex. She flopped from the contact that frequently happens in basketball and got mad. No, like she got contact to the back, fell over, and the refs didn't call it and got angry. Like, let's be real. Like, if you want to call it a flop from Nneka, it is what it is, but it's a foul. It's a foul. Like, it used to be, we always said, oh, players flop because if they don't flop, they don't get a call. Nneka literally just got shoved. She got pushed. And it is just, again, incompetent refereeing caused this entire situation. And it is like, I'm just looking at all these and I'm like, how do the referees just keep getting away with this? How do the referees just keep getting away with this? And how is it that this is allowed? And by the way, for incompetent refereeing, the WNBA, you know, obviously with the referees, it's kind of hard to punish people for making bad calls. If you want to punish the referee for putting hands on a player. Like, if you actually want to properly punish the referee for missing this situation, punish them for putting hands on a player. Because that is unfortunately, not even unfortunately, that is literally what happened. That is literally what happened. We just saw a referee put hands on a player, which I don't think you're allowed to do at any level. Like, if a referee would be suspended if they did this in the Irish Superleague, in men's basketball. So I don't know if referees, the WNBA rules might be different, but if you tried to do that, if a male referee did that in women's basketball, they'd be gonzo in most countries. So yeah, it's something that, I don't know, I think a lot of people are probably almost kind of being like, oh yeah, you know, I saw like the Ken Swift thing saying Nneka was right. And I'm like, I think this whole situation, by the way, whether Nneka is right or wrong, regardless of how you think, at the end of the day, if you think Nneka was justified in this for what happened, then you're just giving it it's an opinion. It's like saying Caitlin Clark was right it was a little bit more excessive than what Caitlin Clark did to Angel Reese, but Angel Reese had shoved Natasha Howard. So Caitlin Clark got her back. It's like trying to argue Caitlin's right there. And I think this one's a little bit more excessive, so it's a bit different. But at the same time, the logic kind of stands where it's like, I think if you're going to retaliate, if you're going to continue, if you're going to allow the crazy contact, expect retaliation. But I do think you're wrong if you retaliate to the extreme. Like, that's what happened with Kennedy Carter last year. Kennedy Carter retaliated to the extreme. Because Caitlin Clark 100% accidentally hit Kennedy Carter in the head. She 100% accidentally hit Kennedy Carter in the head. Like, they were both going for the ball, and Caitlin kind of reached for the ball and happened to get Kennedy Carter with it. She's not even looking at Kennedy Carter. It is what it is. And Kennedy Carter retaliated by blindsiding her. And I'm like, it's just not something that the league should not only be encouraging, they are seeing retaliation happen more and more. So it's like, make sure you get the calls right in the first place. But again, the referees will call phantom fouls constantly, but they'll let this crap go. They'll let shoves go. Like, it's embarrassing refereeing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it is embarrassing how bad it is. The refs don't know how to control the game. They're not good at making calls. Like, it's whatever about making right and wrong calls. But it's like, when somebody gets shoved to the ground or somebody commits it, I've seen take fouls be called as no calls. When someone gets shoved out of bounds, or we saw twice for the Sophie Cunningham. We saw Sophie Cunningham get shoved out of bounds, and we saw her take an elbow to the face. In fairness, probably retaliation from the Connecticut Sun. It is what it is. But you just call the fouls. Even if you don't want to give them as flagrants, they're probably not flagrants. You just call the fouls. But the referee not letting them go. I mean this, if Sophie Cunningham hadn't already gone at the Connecticut Sun, she would have that game. If she hadn't done the previous game, she would have that game after those two fouls. So it's like the referees have an obligation for player safety, and it doesn't seem like they care in any way. But anyway, that's the video. I'll see you guys.